Hey everybody, welcome back to Farming Simulator 25, New Frontier Swine Time, episode 43. We are going to just dump a little pig food into these ones that are, the older ones are going through pig food a lot faster than the newer ones, which makes sense since they're full. But we got to get that done, and then I think we're just straight on to... Oh, the digestate still hasn't sold. Yeah, we're good for another month on the wood, too. The silage is still there. That's cool. But yeah, we gotta make sure these pigs maintain their chubby physiques. Want to be losing out on that. And we can move on to July and get the grass mowed with the new mower, with the new mowing tractor. And also potentially some other harvestables. I'm not 100% sure on that, but food, yay. But I do know, okay, 47, huh? Really do just want to sell it. No, I was just going to leave it on selling digestate. I remember now. Potatoes and sugar beets look good. If we look at the schedule, sorghum in August, potatoes in August, and then sugar beet and soybeans in October. We got a few months before our next big pig sale. What the heck? I am really confused about what happened there. That seems to me to be a... Hello? Did an update? Maybe it goes the other way? It must be the other way. Yep. Weird. Not sure why that did what it did. But anyway, that's that for now. So I think it's time we roll into... Nope, we gotta go do the other work. If we can find... Yeah, this guy. Now this guy we can fill up with silage. And since we're using silage, it doesn't actually matter. Oh, nice. I'm not even gonna fill it up from there. We're gonna fill it up from here. Doesn't matter which one of these trailers we bring. Now, what would be silage slurry? What would be good, though, would be being able to pull a couple of these in a train. But I can see that that's not possible. So, oh well on that. We ought to really have some slurry now. At least a little bit in these ones. We've gone a couple of months, I swear. Yeah. Man, this thing is so heavy. I think we're dumping... No, it's hard to tell. Okay, we dumped into the other one. Okay. Okay, that works though, because everybody's full anyway. We can go get the rest out of here. Oh man, still hard to stop. Well, maybe not the rest, but some more of it. Anyway. So our next application along the lines of slurry is going to be down here on the sorghum field. One of these One of these two, I don't remember which is which. And we still need like 300 something K to buy those next two pieces of land, and another 400K to buy that land up there. So we've got our work cut out for us. Two of them, we ought to really... I think it takes one and a bit to do one of these fields, so we can get the other one filled up after we move on to July. Then well, we can dump it again into the biogas plant, which will fill that up, and then moving on we'll have although I think I was silly and filled that thing up with digestate again, so it's I'm gonna have to run the digestate out all the way since I can't sell it. I think what I'm gonna do is go check on that digestate to fertilizer factory and see if it exists, because I still haven't looked on that. But I want us to get through 10 o'clock just to see how much money that selling makes. I ought to really make sure that we're actually set to sell. We're not. Wow, that would have been a little bit embarrassing. I'm waiting for 10 o'clock to hit so that the selling triggers. And yet it's not even gonna trigger if I didn't set it up. So crazy. Oh, 3 minutes on that. Well, we can just push it forward, I guess. Not bad. 50K. Cool. Well, that ought to make us a little more money each month. But right, I'll be right back. Right, we are in July, and I have installed a couple of fertilizer production mods. One of them, well, I'll just show you. Obviously, we'll put them out here somewhere. We're going to get one of them started right away, probably. It was around 50 grand. There we go. So this takes various input products like slurry and digestate and manure and turns it into fertilizer. Snapping on, okay. So that, I believe, can just live right there. We'll get that smoothed out. All right, and then the other one, we're going to need one of these for anyway. So we probably don't want our water production. I think that makes good sense, actually. We're going to get a wind-driven well here.
You know, when I got this ship.
Okay. So we got that, but the actual production is a thing that takes fertilizer and water and produces liquid fertilizer. So if we set that down, say, right back here, then we can produce fertilizer, liquid fertilizer, not have to buy it anymore. Which will be cool. What's going on here? Okay, well, since we're in the construction trade right now anyway, what I kind of wanted to do is fix the leveling right here. Make that a little more normal feeling anyway. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. So, right, we should have, okay, nothing available to harvest, although this might be, because, yep, okay, this guy's ready to harvest. So let's go get the mowing started. Well, we probably ought to set up our new productions. Water pump. Should distribute water pump should distribute the water, and it should be active. And the fertilizer plant. Okay, so then if we distribute, right. We distribute, that should then send the digestate to the fertilizer plant. Which we can activate that. We'll leave that on storing for now. But we can also bring it a bunch of slurry. Bring it this slurry, and we'll bring it some of our stored up slurry. The ooh. Yeah, that ought to work out. But we also want to bring slurry down to fill up the biogas plant and then bring a load of slurry down to where we're going to work on prepping the field once sorghum is harvested. Which, it's weird that it's not ready. I thought it would be ready. Right, we're just waiting for this to finish so that I can go fill it up again. Should have dumped it while I was over there. That would have been the kind of the right thing to do. We'll go empty these out. $14K ain't much, but still. Still some. Okay. Once these guys start multiplying, they'll do better. They'll produce more. We still have that nearly 500k buffer. Even after we dump this. Okay, it did stop. We're actually going to break into the buffer finally. I'm going to bring this down there. I'm going to have to come back up and grab the 70k trailer. Or no. We don't need a 70k trailer, we just need something to pull. This will work for pulling the grass pickup. That'll be fine. So now we're just going to get this down and get that going. I think we can time lapse from here. Oh, well, that did the job. It seems to drive fine and do its job. Oh wow, like, does kind of have a small gas tank though. But I guess you can't have everything, right? I really like the colors. Kind of like a hot dog stand. So we are just on the edge of being empty on silage additive, which is good. I was hoping we'd get well down. We're gonna have to run this thing up and buy another pack. Uh, I expect it's right here. I just hope it actually takes the entire pallet. And 400 something K. Huh. A little less than last time. We had 500 something K last time. Although I guess half the field was on third month growth rather than the second month growth. We're up here, we might as well repair everything. Might as well wash it too, right? Wow, it sure looks clean for still being so dirty. Oh man, that is so annoying. There's like 0.6 liters in that pallet now. You know, unless I drive this thing all the way up there or drive something else around to get it, it's gonna sit up there forever. Well, not forever, but for a while. All right. So now we can hit that with fertilizer. Maybe we can hit it with liquid fertilizer that we made. Not 100% sure yet. I'm not sure how much it makes, how quickly or whatever. Let's go see how much we can get. Well, I guess it's not going to make any because we haven't distributed it. And this is that kind. Okay. We'll deal with that later. Nope, no, wrong one again. I'll figure it out eventually here, I swear. There we go. Oh, and you were already full to begin with. Okay, now we're just being crazy. What I'm interested in now, though, is can we sell fertilizer? We can even figure out solid fertilizer. We can drop it off, but we shouldn't be getting paid for it. Probably don't have any. Oh, yep, 289 liters. All right, not enough. We still do need to go fertilize up that grass field, though. And do all of our top-offs and everything. Just hang you there for the moment. And go get that grass field fertilized up. Okay. That is the whole grass field. Which means that, what? No, I don't want to coast into the soybean, into the sugar beets, but I do want to see. Okay, the sawmill needs work. And yeah, we've got some things to do before we can move on to August. Which is fine. Yeah, I think that's basically it. So next episode we'll finish out July with some top-offs and get on to August. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will catch you next time.